See. Well, what up, fam? It's Francisco with Team Hilote, and this is a new segment I'm calling Across the Bar, where I will be interviewing people in different fields to get an inside look as to what they've had to do in order to conduct business in their job during COVID-19. So each guest will answer the same three questions, and they're going to be number one, what their business or what their job looked like before COVID, BC, and then question two is what their business or job is doing DC during COVID. And the last question is what do they feel their job will look like AC after COVID in the future once the economy gets back to work. So our very first and very special guest is Mrs. Kelly, Mrs. Riley, and I'll let her introduce herself and just give you the floor.
My name is Kelly Riley. I'm a transitional kindergarten teacher and kindergarten teacher at Las Palmitas Elementary School in Thermal. And I'm just happy to help out with what you're doing.
Well, thank you so much. Well, question number one. So give us just a short version of your day-to-day routine, before the pandemic hit.
So as a teacher, obviously my schedule is Monday through Friday, pretty much 8 to 3 with students in the classroom, access to all of my students, access to all of the curriculum, everything you would need to run just a normal day at school.
Okay. And when it all happened, when schools were shut down, how fast was the transition and what are you doing now during COVID to stay in touch with your students?
Well, initially, it was our district decided to engage our students would be handing out packets. So that was the first round. We were able to go out to school and pass packets out. We had a very high turnout at our site. So it was a quick way to just briefly interact with parents and with a few students. But aside from that, there was not a lot we could do. Our school and our population is very rural, and so it's not super accessible to get to them and keep contact with them. We've done a lot with the Zoom. A lot of teachers are using Zoom. A lot with Class Dojo. Just trying to keep a connection with parents. Some people are just texting. But that's kind of where we stand with it right now.
Okay. And last question, how do you feel about the next school year? Once everyone gets allowed to be back in the classrooms, is there things you think are going to change permanently in the classroom? And do you think the tools that are being used right now, like the technology, are they going to stay or are they planning on coming back? What are your thoughts?
I think one of the really positive things that's going to come out of this when we actually do get back to school is the connections that we've built. It's not always easy keeping in contact with parents. A lot of times teacher-parent connections are only made during parent-teacher conferences, which are twice a year. We're seeing now that we are able to connect with our parents. And I think we're building some really important relationships with them that will hopefully carry on throughout their elementary years and their middle school and high school years.
Awesome. And do you have any tips for us parents that are struggling now with having our kids all day, every day, so they don't lose, or at least they can retain what they already learned? What can you tell us?
My advice would be, I'm a teacher, but I'm also a parent, and it's hard. It's hard to teach your own kids. If you're struggling with it, you're absolutely normal. My advice and what I've done for myself is I need my son to feel like he is safe. I need him to stay calm, and we just kind of roll with it. I'm not going to argue and fight with him to get things done. We're going to take things a little bit at a time. Just keeping a connection with him, I think, is the most important thing. And the school stuff, it will come back. We're all in the same boat. None of our kids are going to get super ahead. None of our kids are going to fall super far behind. We're all in the same boat. So I say just take a deep breath. Take a deep breath and pick it up when it's time to go back to school.
Got it. Okay. Well, that's it. Once again, I appreciate your time and I'm sure all your kids really miss you.
Oh, I miss them too.
And I'm sure you'll see everybody the next school year, and keep enjoying what you're doing, and we'll just spread the word. Thank you so much, Ms. Riley.
Thank you.
You're welcome.